Have you noticed that by the end of the day, your legs feel unusually heavy, almost like they're filled with sand? Or that when you take your socks off, they are deep rings around your ankles that seem to linger far longer than they should? Or maybe climbing stairs leaves you oddly breathless, even though your heart tests always come back fine. And here's the unsettling question most people quietly avoid asking themselves. What if this isn't just aging? What if something inside your body is slowly shutting down right now, without pain, without alarms, without warning? Something doctors rarely explain until it's already caused damage. And what if the very first signs were the ones you're dismissing today? Because the frightening truth is that millions of people only discover what's wrong after a fall, after sudden dizziness, after a clot, after they're told they can't safely live alone anymore. And by then, the conversation changes from how do we fix this to how do we manage what's left. And what makes this even more disturbing is that the system failing isn't your heart, it isn't your lungs, it's something most people don't even know they have. Something doctors quietly call your second heart. And once it weakens, everything else starts to unravel. Your body has two hearts, and before you dismiss that as nonsense, stay with me, because understanding this could mean the difference between staying independent and slowly losing control over your mobility, your balance, and your confidence. Because while the heart in your chest pushes blood out, there's another powerful pump hidden in your calves, whose only job is to push blood back up against gravity. And here's what most people never realize. When you're sitting or standing, nearly 70% of your blood volume is below your heart. And veins alone don't have enough pressure to lift it back up. They need help. They need your calf muscles to squeeze deep veins like pistons, generating enormous pressure that forces blood upward, while tiny one-way valves snap shut to keep it from falling back down. And when this system works, you don't think about walking, you don't think about standing, you don't think about balance. But when it weakens, when it goes quiet, blood begins pooling silently in your lower legs. And that's when heaviness, swelling, dizziness, and fatigue stop being harmless annoyances and start becoming warning signs. This is where things get dangerous, because failure of the second heart doesn't happen overnight. It happens in stages, quietly, patiently, often over years. And the earliest stage feels harmless. Your legs feel tired sooner than they used to. They ache at night. They feel old. And most people shrug it off. But what's actually happening is that the pump is losing strength. Stage 1 shows up as spider veins, which people mistake as cosmetic, but they're actually pressure leaks, tiny vessels bursting because blood isn't being cleared properly. Stage 2 brings varicose veins, which isn't just appearance, it's structural damage, stretched vein walls that can't recover. Stage 3 is when swelling appears, when socks leave deep marks and ankles puff up because fluid is being forced out of blood vessels into tissue. Stage 4 is when skin darkens and thickens from internal blood breakdown. Stage 5 means ulcers have already formed once, and Stage 6 is the crisis point. Open wounds that don't heal, infections, hospital visits, and at that stage, people aren't talking about prevention anymore. They're talking about survival. And what makes this cruel is that many people don't realize they're in trouble until Stage 3 or 4, when reversal becomes much harder. But swelling and ulcers aren't even the most terrifying consequence. Because when blood pools, when it slows and thickens, it creates the perfect environment for clots. And a clot forming in the deep veins of the leg can sit quietly with almost no symptoms, maybe just a dull ache that feels like a cramp, until one moment it breaks free, races through the bloodstream, and lodges in the lungs. And here's the statistic that should stop you cold. For 1 in 4 people who experience a pulmonary embolism, sudden death is the first symptom. no warning, no second chance. And even among survivors, the risk doesn't end there, because the body remembers, the damage lingers, and recurrence becomes more likely. And all of this often begins with something people brushed off as tired legs or swelling they thought was normal. Now, here's where this stops being about circulation and starts about your life. Because when the second heart weakens, blood pressure regulation suffers. Standing causes dizziness, balance becomes unreliable, and falls become more likely. And 1 in 4 older adults falls each year. But what almost no one talks about is what happens after, because falls account for a massive portion of nursing facility admissions, and nearly 40% of those people never return to independent living, never sleep in their own bed again, never cook in their own kitchen again. And when seniors are asked what they fear most, they don't say death. They say losing independence, becoming a burden, and the second heart sits right at the center of that fear, because when it fails, movement becomes dangerous. And when movement becomes dangerous, people sit more, which weakens the pump even further, creating a vicious cycle that quietly steals freedom one day at a time. Researchers have measured exactly why legs feel heavier with age, and the findings are unsettling, because studies tracking muscle activation during walking show that younger adults rely heavily on calf muscles with every step, producing powerful push-offs that keep blood moving. But as people age, calf muscles fatigue rapidly, sometimes within minutes, and the body compensates by shifting effort to the hips and thighs, which sounds helpful, but comes at a cost, because it's far less efficient, drains energy faster, and most critically, it stops activating the calf pump at the frequency needed to move blood properly. And the brain receives weaker feedback signals, meaning the heart in your chest has to work harder just to maintain blood pressure, which is why walking feels harder, stairs feel steeper, and recovery feels slower than it used to, because your body isn't failing all at once. It's compensating poorly for a system that's been neglected. Now, here's the part that changes everything. Because despite how frightening this sounds, the second heart usually isn't broken, it's asleep. And sleeping systems can be woken up. And the most powerful interventions are simple, free, and shockingly effective. You don't need intense workouts, you don't need gyms, you don't need expensive programs. What you need are short, frequent reminders to your body of how it's supposed to work. Because movement is the language your second heart understands. And when you speak that language consistently, circulation improves, swelling reduces, balance stabilizes, and confidence slowly returns. The single most effective movement for waking your second heart is standing calf raises, because they directly activate the piston system in your legs, forcing blood upward with significant pressure. And the beauty is in how simple this is. You stand behind a chair for balance, rise onto your toes, lower slowly, and repeat 15 to 20 times, 3 sets a day. And that's enough to create meaningful change. And here's why this matters psychologically. You can do this while waiting for the kettle, brushing your teeth, or reheating food, which means independence is no longer something you hope for, it's something you actively protect in 2-minute increments. If standing feels unstable or you're recovering from surgery, seated ankle pumps work remarkably well, lifting toes, then heels rhythmically, engaging deep calf muscles that prevent pulling when standing still. And these movements are especially critical during periods of immobility, because bed rest is when clot risk skyrockets, and even small movements during recovery can dramatically reduce that risk, turning what feels like helpless waiting into active protection. Compression stockings, pneumatic devices, and muscle stimulation tools can help guide blood upward and reduce symptoms. But here's the critical warning. None of them replace movement. They support the pump, they don't replace it. And relying on external tools while staying sedentary is like installing better plumbing without turning on the engine. Helpful, but incomplete. Your body also produces natural circulation boosters, like nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves flow. And leafy greens and beetroot support this process, while berries strengthen fragile vessels, and hydration keeps blood from thickening into sludge. And what's powerful here is that movement and nutrition reinforce each other, because active blood flow stimulates even more nitric oxide, creating a cycle where small daily habits quietly amplify each other. One of the most unsettling truths is that this condition is widely underdiagnosed, and many people are told swelling and heaviness are just aging, delaying proper evaluation until advanced stages appear, which is why awareness matters, because asking the right questions early can prevent years of decline, and silence is often the most dangerous symptom of all. So when you think back to those heavy legs, those sock marks, that breathlessness on stairs, understand that they aren't random. They're messages, and your second heart is waiting for a response. Because this isn't about living forever, it's about living well, walking confidently, staying steady, and remaining in control of your life. And every calf raise, every ankle pump, every glass of water, every step you take is you choosing independence over decline, motion over stagnation, and awareness over denial. And the most powerful part is this: the choice starts today, not with fear, but with understanding. Because once you know how your body works, you can protect it. And once you protect it, you protect your freedom.